some big skill drills. Hey, how well do they catch the ball? I mean, they might look good, run well, but they can't catch. Well, then they probably stay defensive end. If they can catch, it's kind of like, oof. So we're going to spread those big athletes out and give us a chance to get the best players on the field.
Did the possibility of those guys being able to do that change your approach in January as far as recruiting tight ends?
Yeah, it really did. I mean, we had a need. We would have liked to have gotten one pure tight end, but again, didn't want to settle for the guys that, that guy just doesn't have this or have that. We just wanted to get the best big athletes we could, and that's what we've arrived at.
With Michael, when you talked about him filling a need for you guys, did you look at that more as you wanted someone that good to fill that need? I mean, is that something that you wanted more this year, or looking long term in the backfield?
Well, I think whenever we take a player, we don't want to take a guy just to be a backup. We're taking a guy to come in and play. Michael's going to have a chance to come in and compete right away, and we feel good with our running backs we had. So it's got to be someone that we feel can come in and compete right now. Otherwise, let's wait till next year and get one that can really compete fast. If that answers your question.
Yeah.
You kind of touched on this a little bit, but how did the way things play out with the early signing period kind of make the second period where you didn't necessarily have – there were some spots where we wanted a lineman, but there's other spots where we know we have this scholarship. We can go find the best player we can find to fill that scholarship. It doesn't matter what position he is, and how different is that than in years past?
It's probably no different, but you just, it's really no different. We have always had that same policy of finding the best available. Very similar to what the NFL will do. You just were able to do that at the same time. We didn't have to go hold on to the rest of the class and keep them together when someone else is trying to find their best available, and you're walking in one door and someone else is walking in the other trying to get your other guy. So it made it easier that way, that we could really focus more time on these 5 individuals as they were coming on visits.
Have you had experience developing a player like Baldonado who hasn't played a whole lot of football but has all the athletic traits you pretty much look for?
You know what? I mean, different high schools, there's some kids that played, in America for, 15 years that don't have, some of the knowledge. This kid's really smart. That was we've recruited, international guys from Canada before. I've recruited and coached probably 3 or 4 of them. A couple were probably still playing in the Canadian Football League. So you've seen some of the international football players. This guy's just a little bit different. Just his football knowledge, it's like he's been playing for a long time. He understands the game. The competition will be a lot better when he gets here compared to what maybe he was playing in high school. But I think it'll all translate. But we've had the international students that maybe don't come from that football, from the United States that we have here. But this kid's, there's something different about him. His personality. He's going to be a fun kid to coach. I can imagine him being involved in student organizations on campus. I mean, I think he's a complete package as far as a person, and he's really smart.
Now that you've been through it for a year, is one signing period more important than the other? Is it, the early signing period bigger than this one now?
I would say the only way the other signing period would be bigger than the other one is if they just eliminated and had one. But they're both important. I mean, we signed really, really good character student athletes in both of them. So how can you say one's better than the other or more important? You really can't. It's kind of nice to have 2, but I could go with one in December. And again, really this February signing, they can sign all the way to March 31st. I mean, so I know we talk about that signing day. It's really the signing 2 months that they have an opportunity really to sign that contract that they may have in front of them.
You've done it the other way so many years. Is it still a learning process to figure out how to approach 2 signing periods with recruiting?
It is. If you had to do it all over again, I can tell you this. It seemed like as you recruit, there was more competition in January. You almost felt like some guys got over-recruited in January. Like, wow. I mean, things started to load up, and you're like, you couldn't believe so many guys were recruiting an individual just because there was only a couple fish out there. There was a lot of sharks, looking for that little fish.
Did you see Millen as a high school player when you were at Michigan State?
You know what? No, we didn't. And that bothers you because you're like, hey, where did you come from? How do I not know where you were? But he was a 230-pound, tall, skinny guy, I guess, and Kent got him. Those guys slipped through the cracks, and that's probably when you talk signing periods. I think it's going to affect high school and high school players more than it's going to affect the colleges. But we're going to be affected because we're going to miss on a guy like that could have been at Pitt. Matter of fact, he was on our campus, at Pitt, back when he was coming out of high school, and just too skinny, whatever it may be. but he's not skinny anymore. He's a super player.
You can insert him at left tackle right away.
Yeah, we'll start at left tackle right away.
At these 2 periods down, do you feel pretty comfortable with, as you go to high schools, that people know what you're about, what your program is about, being able to establish that over the last few years?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's always a work in progress. I mean, I think, the amazing thing when people come in, and, we've had some really, really good walk-ons come in the last couple of weeks that we've kind of blended in with the rest of the visits. And, the thing you hear is just the way we do our business on campus. And that's kind of who we are. It's like you're shocked to hear that, but, we continue to build our reputation as people and as a football program based on how we do our business. So I think it's a work in progress, but you'd be amazed at, bringing in guys that just want to be a priority walk-on. They're like, hey, I've been to 5 or 6 of these, and there's no place like this. I mean, that's how you build your reputation as a program. That's, our coaches and staff have done an incredible job there.
Any word on an offensive line coach?
No, we're working on it. Won't be long. That's the word.
Is that why Coach Pat was able to go out and do some of that recruiting with Stefano?
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, we're allowed 10 coaches on the field as of, I think, January 9th. I'm not sure what the date was. We didn't have them out any earlier than that, but we were able to get James out and Tim Cooper out. We were able to get, we're going to have 10 assistants on the road, so we're able to get with Dustin, Gray, and compliance, and get a switch and have those guys take over for our coaches that weren't here, and for that 10th assistant until Archie Collins and Randy got here. So those guys took over and were able to come in and do the recruiting, which was a great experience for them, and obviously it helped us out a bunch. They did a great job.
On the 4 DBs, do you see them locked into corner? Do you think they could all move to corner or safety, or do you have them kind of separated?
No, we don't. Looking at those guys, we may have had, I think Judson might have been the only guy in camp. I don't know if anybody can help me out with that one, but maybe 2 of them came to camp. But until we get them here, we put them through drills. We think all of them have the ability to play corner, put it that way. We think they all can play there, but our field safety position can be a corner. I mean, he's playing the same position, just playing off coverage. So, we think they're all great athletes, and all have a place for them. So, I mean, those are probably your starting 4 guys out there, when we put the freshmen out there in the fall.
You have, and Michael, it seems like from what I was able to see that his sort of one of his calling cards is speed, and to be able to be a guy that can score from anywhere on the field. How rare of a talent is that for you guys to find, and do you feel like that makes maybe getting a player like that more impactful when you don't have a ton of those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you have a playmaker with his ability, and the other thing I'll mention about Michael is he wants to play defense too. Okay, we kind of like that. But he's a hitter. Go put some of his junior tape on and watch him whack people. So he's a guy that can play both ways. So there's another safety for Coach Bates back there, and Coach Collins and Coach Hill. But he's a tremendous football player. He can make an impact anywhere on the field. Catching it, running it, or hitting somebody.
We do have our assistant staff here. Do we have any final questions for Coach before we open it up for some one-on-ones with our assistant coaches?
How much bigger, if I had asked you, last spring or last June about how big you thought the class was going to end up being, how much bigger, or did it end up bigger than you would have expected, say, a year ago or 9 months ago?
I think that always happens. I don't know if I've ever been anywhere. We always are shooting for a higher number, knowing that there's going to be attrition, guys looking for places to play, and I think it gets competitive anytime you're bringing in more younger players and they start, moving up the depth chart and they jump in front of people. That you see guys kind of turn around and go, where'd this guy come from? And they start to say, maybe I have to play somewhere else. So we're always looking at those numbers, and it's always a fluid number. That's why I can't say we're going to take 14 of them, and then if we plan on 14 and all of a sudden we need 22, then we've got a problem. So we'll just continue to evaluate that. But yeah, I mean, there's always changes. Guys have opportunities to stay or choose to move on. And those are choices that we understand our kids have to make.
Okay, Coach, thank you. I would ask our